When this happens, it's gonna be a long day or a long night of clawing and screaming. So kind of like an exorcism or something.
Take a deep breath, and then you push down.
Breathe. Jasmine has like a demon or devil inside of her. I would be happy if she gets deported. I think she deserves it. I want her to feel some pain like I felt pain.
So the big day has finally arrived. But unfortunately, not everyone is over the moon at baby Matilda's arrival. Yeah, Gino is in for the shock of his life. But before we get to that, we join Matt and Jasmine as they're heading to their very first birthing class.
You better take this birth class serious. You don't even know what hole the baby's gonna come from, right?
Probably the butthole.
Matt!
What?
I'm being serious.
Okay.
Matt's tendency to make everything into a joke is seriously grating on Jasmine. Like, it's really frustrating for her. Here she is in her most vulnerable moment, looking for someone dependable, someone that she can rely on to be there for her. And Matt's just trying to make a joke of everything. Remember, the whole point of this baby class was to put Jasmine at ease, to prove to her that he would be able to support her. But that's proving to be very hard for Matt.
I don't know why my skull is so thick that even though I'm going to a birthing class, even though we're inching closer to the delivery of this baby, it's still not like real to me.
Don't worry, Matt, you're not alone. We've all questioned the thickness of your skull. Like, he keeps on repeating it so often that I've just taken it to be fact at this point. The guy is an idiot. Not just an idiot, an unprepared idiot. Like, with his baby due any day now, Matt is completely unprepared for what's about to hit him. He's read no books, watched no videos, like he's completely unprepared. He knows nothing about birth or caring for a baby. So his hope is that today at this birthing class, he'll at least learn something, anything. But much to his horror, the first thing he's taught catches him completely unprepared.
The dolls that you have in front of you are right about the size of a newborn baby, so it gives you a really good idea of what to expect.
Yikes.
Matt, that face.
Matt has absolutely no idea how big a newborn baby can be. Like, this is precisely why Jasmine has dragged him here today. She wants him to get a better understanding of just how intense labour and delivery are going to be. Now, Jasmine is also doing it the hard way. She's hardcore. Her aim is to give birth completely unmedicated. And she, if not Matt, is well aware that that whole process won't be easy.
We're talking about unbearable pain. Imagine like a coconut is coming out of your penis. How would that feel, Matt?
Ouch, I'm wincing just thinking about that. Now, I don't think it works exactly the same, but Jasmine has made her point. She's determined for Matt to feel her pain. And quite some pain it might be. Like, as the instructor talks about vaginal tearing during delivery and what they can do to help minimise that, it suddenly, in all its glory, dawns on Matt just how painful, just how graphic and explicit this might be. Although, yet again, as he recounts to the camera crew what it is that he's learnt, he can't help but make a joke of it.
So apparently if I don't help, her, you know what, is going to tear, possibly all the way to her butthole. Yikes. That would just be one giant hole, I don't know.
Now, despite what you might think, despite how it might appear with the constant need to make fun of everything, Matt is making an effort. Like, he is absorbing a lot of what's being taught today. Like, the instructor walks them through various massaging techniques, positions, breathing exercises, and even what Matt can do to pass the baby back to Jasmine once she gives birth. It's a lot. It's a crash course in the essentials that he needs to know. And suddenly, for the first time, hearing all of this, seeing all of this firsthand, Matt finally realises that the birth is gonna get crazy.
When this happens, it's gonna be a long day or a long night of clawing and screaming. So kind of like an exorcism or something.
Look, again, the humour might be Matt's form of coping. It's a coping mechanism. It's a way of him hiding his fear, right? But at the same time, something tells me Jasmine won't take too well to hearing Matt talking about the birth as though it's an exorcism. As the class ends, Jasmine is keen to quiz him and find out exactly how much he's learnt today. Were you paying attention in between all of your jokes? She asks. Like, walk me through what the instructor said about handing the baby back to me. What are you going to do after you catch the baby, she asks.
Flip it around.
I put it back in the oven. I mean, back to you, I hand it to you.
So
and then
sorry.
I bite the umbilical cord.
Why are you like this, man?
Like what? I'm not even doing anything.
Honestly, he really is an idiot, isn't he? There's a time and a place to make jokes, Matt, and this isn't it. Jasmine is desperate to have a serious conversation. She's desperate to know Matt has what it takes to support her. And all he can do is, rather than reassure her, is joke about and tell her to stop stressing. He repeats to her, it will be okay, it will be fine, which doesn't exactly put her at ease at all. The thing is, although he doesn't do a good job of conveying it to Jasmine, privately, we can see that this class has had the intended consequences. Matt is now sufficiently worried and sufficiently aware that he's got a lot of work he needs to do.
I'm gonna have to step up and do my part. But there's a lot more stuff about this baby, and we've covered 5% in this class. I don't know anything. Nothing.
Deep down, beneath the clown mask that he's wearing, Matt is terrified. He's worried not just about the birth, but more about what happens next. How he's going to step up and be a dad. How he's going to take care of his baby. Like, although this is the side of him that Jasmine was hoping to see, it's good to know that it is there. Like, it's good to see this open, honest, vulnerable side to him. Still, whatever it is he learned today, he's going to need to put it all into action. Because the next time we see them both, it's 1 o'clock in the morning and Jasmine's water has just broken.
I think a baby's coming, so. Matt, then you have to wake up. I know you want to sleep, but forget about sleeping like for the next days of your life.
Now, to his credit, Matt does wake up and he does a pretty darn good job. You see, Jasmine, rather than choosing somewhere local, has opted to give birth at a birthing centre 60 miles away. That, in the midst of the panic, the pain, the excitement, everything that she's going through right now, is quite a long journey. Matt does a very good job, I've got to say, of remaining calm, reassuring Jasmine, whilst no doubt freaking out inside and driving like crazy to get there as quickly as possible.
Just make sure that I don't give birth in this car, Matt, please. I don't want to give birth in the car.
Just breathe, mama, breathe.
Now, thankfully, they arrive safe and sound, and Jasmine needn't have worried about giving birth in the car, because as it subsequently turns out, she's in labour for 8 hours. It's a long, painful 8 hours for her, but an equally long, nerve-wracking 8 hours for Matt.
So this is the part that's been scaring the crap out of me because it makes me feel like powerless, you know? And I feel bad.
Yeah, that's a very relatable fear, right? And again, I've got to stress, when Matt's like this, when he drops the mask and he's just open and vulnerable, like, I've got to pick my words carefully. I don't like the guy, but I've got more of a sympathy towards him. Like, this is a side to him that every father can relate to. Like, of course, it's much worse for women, don't get me wrong, but from a man's perspective, it's a lonely experience. You feel totally helpless, and not just that, you feel petrified that something might go wrong. Matt is doing a good job, and as for Jasmine, wow, just wow. Don't forget, she's doing this completely unmedicated.
Take a deep breath.
Hi.
We did it.
First things first, right? Goes without saying, but needs to be said, women are absolute rock stars. What they go through during labour is incredible, right? And Jasmine is no exception. Now, Matt knocked it out of the park as well. He has also done a great job today. Seeing this scene here, seeing his baby on Jasmine's chest, it's a moment that both of them will cherish for the rest of their lives. They've done it, and just look how incredibly proud they both are.
I would like to introduce our baby, Matilda.
Matilda!
Matilda's here.
Now, surprisingly, especially given that Jasmine used to be an English literature teacher, the name Matilda doesn't come from the Roald Dahl book, but rather it's apparently an inside joke between Jasmine and Matt. That is the name that she used to call Matt as a joke. Matt really pleasantly surprised me, she says. I really didn't know what to expect of him, but not only was he there for me when I needed it, but by doing so, he proved to me that he'll always be there. He proved that I can trust him for life.
I have no doubt he's gonna be a good dad.
She's so beautiful. We're so blessed.
Matt admits that he is still terrified. He's terrified at how small and fragile his baby girl is. More than anything, he feels incredibly blessed. He's grateful to have both Jasmine and Matilda in his life. Now, as for Jasmine, well, she says everything that she's been through over the last few years, the mess that her life is in, has all been worth it for this. Matilda makes it all worthwhile, she says. But I've got a feeling not everyone agrees with that. You see, while we leave Matt, Jasmine and Matilda in their happy, blissful little bubble, we join Gino, who's on his way to finally go and see a divorce attorney. My last phone call with Jasmine finally pushed me over the edge, he says.
I was expecting more from her, like more of apology. There was like no explanation of anything. So that, that's why I decided today that I'm going to talk to a lawyer.
Now, this lawyer is actually one that Gino knows well. He's the same guy that handled his last divorce for him. He's pricey, Gino tells us, but he's very thorough and very good at his job. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? When needed, the money is still there, apparently. He's not cutting corners or counting the pennies when it comes to this. Now, Gino immediately warns the lawyer that unlike his last divorce, which was relatively straightforward and easy, this one won't be the same.
Jasmine does not have the same personality as my previous ex. Jasmine has like a demon or devil inside of her.
Now, Gino tells the lawyer everything from his perspective. Yes, I agreed to an open marriage, he says. I told her that she could spend 2 hours a day at Matt's house, but I also insisted that no feelings should ever be involved, and she spent longer than 2 hours a day at his house and she caught feelings for him, he says. For that reason, Gino maintains that Jasmine cheated on him. And it's extremely clear that Gino is out for vengeance.
I would be happy if she gets deported. I think she deserves it. I want her to feel some pain. I want her to feel some pain like I felt pain.
Gino is really reveling in the role of victim, isn't he? Like, with pride in his voice. He tells the divorce attorney that on 2 separate occasions, he's reported Jasmine to immigration services. He's desperate to have her deported. Reporting her once wasn't enough, he says. I had to report her twice to include the fact that she's now pregnant. But it's at this point that the lawyer stops Gino. For a start, he says, immigration is nothing to do with me. That's a whole separate matter. I'm a divorce attorney. But more importantly, did you just say she's pregnant? Oh boy, that is not good news for you, Gino.
Under Michigan law, when you are married and a child is born, during that marriage, or the husband here, you're presumed to be the father.
Now, we may have already known this because of Jasmine's lawyer, but Gino, it seems, didn't. This has come as a huge shock to him. In the eyes of the law, you're presumed to be the father, and with that comes many obligations, his lawyer tells him. And that is the last thing that Gino ever wanted to hear. Obligations to the child of 2 people that he hates most in this world that will also hit him where it hurts. His bank balance.
You have a legal obligation and a financial obligation to that child.
What? I mean, come on. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, considering they're still legally married, if Jasmine wanted to, she could file for child support from Gino. That, his lawyer warns him, is likely to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars until Matilda turns 18. Now, this, understandably, has terrified Gino. But it actually gets worse. You see, in order to adequately fight against this, Gino is told by his attorney that he needs to file for divorce immediately. Worst case scenario, it needs to be done before 3 years. And by the way, it takes about 6 months just to initiate the proceedings, he says. But remarkably, despite what he's just been told, despite just getting the fright of his life, Gino tells the attorney that he still isn't ready to file yet.
I have a lot of investments. I want to wait for the market to drop and then file because I want the least financial impact to me. Because I know when you're married, you share assets.
Honestly, I've heard a lot of crazy things in my life, but this is right up there. This is wild. Gino is playing chicken with paternity law. Like, he's desperately hoping for a recession so that his portfolio can lose value faster than Michigan can make him pay child support for a kid that isn't his. Now, shockingly, it doesn't end there. Gino has clearly been doing his homework. He tells his attorney, like it's Gino telling the attorney this, that another reason he wants to wait is to force Jasmine to lose her legal status. If I file for divorce now, Gino says, Jasmine will be able to file for her permanent tenure card without my approval. But for as long as we're legally married, that requires my signature too, which I won't give her. Like, Gino has clearly given this a lot of thought. He's planned out exactly how to extract his perfect revenge. But his lawyer tells him, your plan is flawed.
A lot of people, unfortunately, think that you can utilize the court system to gain that pound of flesh. What you do is you give attorneys a lot more money.
Yeah, so it turns out trying to perfectly time your divorce in order to save money and extract maximum revenge might actually end up costing you more money in lawyers' fees. The attorney again reminds Gino the clock is ticking, you need to be fast here. Plus, he sprinkles in just to add further misery to Gino. If you leave it until Jasmine files for divorce first, well then that divorce will take place in Florida. You'll also have to pay for me to travel back and forth. You're playing a very, very dangerous game by waiting, he tells Gino.
You are taking a chance the longer you wait. She could leave the country or be deported, and now that complicates things as far as you trying to get a hold of her, and it just cost you more money.
Yeah, maybe it's because he already knows him, but this lawyer knows exactly which buttons to push in order to sufficiently scare cheapskate Gino into acting. For as much as he is desperate for revenge, one thing we all know about Gino is he also loves his money. He's desperate to save as much money as possible. He says he's now heard enough. He's decided he now needs to file for divorce as soon as he can. But what he doesn't know is that baby Matilda has now been born. The countdown has now started, and it's amazing to think that one incredible, beautiful little baby has already, within hours of birth, made life way more complicated for everyone.